See whether anybody has any question or remarks about what we have discussed so far. Is there any comments we have so far, questions, clarifications, and so on? If there is none, let's move ahead.
There is.
Okay. Okay. Please go ahead. Next time we
Okay,
use.
sir.
Do you know how to use the raising of hand?
Yes, I know.
Okay. That's what we normally use. I will have seen it. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, on the issue of these causes of conflict, you talked about proximate factors.
Yes.
Then, during the course of explanation, you made mention of atmosphere that is conducive to violent conflict. How will the atmosphere be conducive?
It's actually not the atmosphere. Proximate factors are factors that make atmosphere conducive for violence. Now, this is what I mean. We all agree that Nigeria has some structural problems, chief of which is corruption and also bad governance and so on. These are structural things. Now, any election period, election season, the atmosphere is charged. It is during this time that topical issues, systemic issues now come to the front burner. We see that during electioneering period, the atmosphere is usually palpable with fear, with possibility of violence. So election now becomes a proximate factor. When we are analyzing, if eventually there's a conflict or breakout of violence, outbreak of violence, when we're analyzing it, we identify electioneering period as what is responsible for making the atmosphere to be charged, for making the atmosphere conducive, for making the environment conducive for sudden outbreak of violence. Proximate factors make triggers. They increase the plausibility of triggers of conflict.
Okay.
Yes. So those are proximate, the things that increase the likelihood of an outbreak of violence.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So if anybody has further comments or questions, they can just raise their hands using the raise hand icon. I will acknowledge as I proceed with the lecture, with the presentation. And let's all remember to mute our audio when we are not talking. Okay, we want to now talk about conflict handling styles. You see, conflict handling styles refer to different methods by which we respond, as it were, to conflict. Different types of responses, behavioral responses to conflict. All of us will have our default styles, and these default styles are the results of both our personality types and environmental conditioning. Personality types, there are some people that are reserved. There are some people that they don't like trouble. Some people, they tend to look out for troubles in a way. They are not afraid of troubles. So all these traits combine to form our personalities. And now our personalities, they give us a kind of default responses to conflict. Kenneth Thomas and Ralph Kilman, they identified 5. I added another one, which is based on African worldview, African orientation to life. Now, the 5 identified by Kenneth and Kilman are avoiding, accommodating, compromising, competition, and collaboration. I added Ubuntu because I found out that there is this traditional generic way of responding to conflicts by most Africans that are not captured by these 5 styles. I looked at each of the 5 critically, and I noticed that they don't totally reflect the African reality. And I saw that the African reality or African traditional response to conflict is captured by this concept Ubuntu, which I know some of us have heard about. Now, the conflict handling styles, they vary in degree of assertiveness or cooperativeness when we're in conflict. The degree to which we assert ourselves and our rights and our needs with or without or at the expense or in collaboration with the other, or cooperativeness. So, however, irrespective of our personality types, it is important that we know from the outset that there is no style that is best for all situations. Each style is best suited for particular situations. And also, it is our job as conflict managers to know our own style, our default style. Once we are sensitive to it, it will help us become a better conflict manager. Also, beyond that, we should be able to identify the style of parties to our conflict. For instance, if we have a couple before us, a party, one of them is maybe a natural avoider, and the other one is a natural competitor. I tell you that managing conflicts in that, I mean, it will be so complex. I mean, let me put it this way. The avoider will be at the receiving end. So, will be at the receiving end. And now, when we're analyzing their conflicts as we learned in conflict analysis on Tuesday, the avoider may just want to keep important things, priorities under the carpet. It is our job as managers to ensure that that is not done. The competitor may want to push, just push for his own interest alone. And the avoider may just be ready to allow everything. Whatever arrangement we arrive at under such condition will never be sustainable. Will never be sustainable. You must show the competitor the need for patience so that the avoider will not just agree to everything. Because although he may agree, it's just sweeping the whole thing under carpet. It's not making her happy or him happy. And the person will be dying gradually. So I represent each style with an animal, and each style is rated on 5 parameters: assertiveness, cooperativeness. Now, the other ones include goal, how valuable the goal is to a particular party in the conflict. 4th, relationship. And 5, the expected outcome. Now, avoiding is when a party deliberately evades, ignore, or withdraw response or delay response to conflicts. in a conflict situation. Some parties, when there's conflict, they prefer to delay to respond or totally just ignore, or they delay until they ignore it. When parties they avoid a conflict, their concern and the concern of the other party is not taken care of, is not addressed. The party that's avoiding feels that once we don't talk about it, the thing will fly, it will grow wings and fly, but it's not usually like that. Avoiders perceive conflict as hopeless and therefore to be avoided. A leader, a church leader who has this default style, doesn't mean you are weak. It's just that you'll be doing more harm to your congregation than you know. The people say, just forget about it. You're in the house of God, forget about it. You're pushing it. I said, forget about it. You should be pursuing the kingdom business. Just forget about it. And when parties, maybe members also bring their conflict, you'll be heavily minded. Whereas we're just using that to cover our irritation to conflict. We're irritated by it. We'll be wasting time sitting down and discussing it. It will affect members, it will affect kingdom business. Avoiders overlook differences and accept disagreement. Now, on those 5 parameters, on assertiveness, avoiders are low on assertiveness. On cooperativeness, they are low too. They seem to be cooperating. Everything is okay, when you say, but it truly is not. The value they place over the goal or on the issue is low. The value of relationship with the other party also to them is not important. It's not, because if the value is they want to treat whatever is trying to jeopardize it, and the outcome is they lose and the other party lose. However, when you don't have anything to lose or gain, or if there's nothing good that will come out of a conflict, you may decide to avoid it. Like I said, avoidance, like others, is also good for some situations. For instance, when you have conflict with maybe bike rider over 10 naira, over 50 naira, 100 naira change, when you have enough money and you are going for a contract or appointment, you are going to church on Sunday, you are now fighting over 100 naira with an Okada man. Most of us, for us, it's better to just avoid it. Oh, the Okada man is abusing you. Now, what to look at is, do you need to assert yourself? Do you know who I am? Do you need that for an Okada man that you may never see again? You don't have any relationship with him. You don't need to sit to cooperate. Now, what is the value of 100 naira to you? Maybe nothing. What is the value of the Okada man doing, Rankade, the man of God to me? You just do it on the spot and you forget about it. Does that really mean anything to you? No. So, at such point, it will be best for me just to avoid this conflict. Some people, they like having the last words in conflicts. If having the last word is with some people you live with, or some people you work closely with, maybe you can just pardon you. But if you want to have last word with bus conductor, with wheelbarrow pusher, I think it's better you avoid. So avoiding can be the best option sometimes. Accommodating. So avoiding is seen as tortoise or tortoise. Once it's going and something touches it, the guy will just pull his head and hands in and pretend as if it's just an ordinary shell. Accommodating is a situation whereby you set aside your personal needs in order to please others and have peace. In the name of having peace, people that accommodate just say they will accept all the terms of the other party. Their own term, they are ready to sacrifice it. Inside of them, they are angry, but they are feeling, I don't want trouble, I don't want wahala, I don't want this. Just accommodate. They want to preserve the relationship and ignore the issue and keep peace at their expense. Many employees are like that because they are afraid. Hey, what will I say? I mean, what will the star employer say? If I say I don't like it, I don't like that. Job is difficult to this or that. So they value that relationship. Some people in opposite sex relationship, oh, this woman or this sister they are going out with because she has prospects or because he has prospects, the sister or the brother is just accepting anything. As church leaders, we should help our congregants to, see this for people who, when they bring their conflicts. There are conflicts and there are things that we should not encourage people to accommodate once it's affecting or has the potential to affect their mental health. But accommodate was because we want the relationship at all costs, they want to take it. They are unassertive but very cooperative, which makes accommodating the opposite style of competing. Accommodating is the opposite side of competing. Accommodating is represented with teddy bear. He opens his arms and legs. People, ladies especially, they can hug it. Sometimes they use it as their pillow. When the thing is getting old, they use it as their footstep, bed step or whatever, foot marks. And the thing is always like this. When it's being maltreated, it's like that. Accommodating is low on assertiveness. Is high, very high to cooperate with people because it sacrifices its own goals. The value he has over his own goal is low, but the value he places on the relationship is high. Outcome is lose-win. I lose, you win. There are times when accommodating is the best approach, but when we are accommodating people or when we see other people accommodating people, we want to be sure that maybe what they are gaining from the relationship is what accommodating is. And there are some times in our life that each of us we have had to accommodate, and we still have such. But it's just for us to know that, oh, I'm playing the fool, or I'm deliberately accommodating because it's the best thing to do in this situation for now. But people who are accommodators by default, you have to know that there are certain situations where accommodating is not the best. Once you identify yourself as, oh, I accommodate a lot, I let people live at my expense a lot, you will know that there are certain things that are important to you that you cannot afford to let people push you around, that you cannot afford to accommodate. There must be a line. And also, when we handle conflict as conflict managers, if a party is an accommodating party and the other party is competing, it will almost become master-slave situation. Because whatever the competitor wants, the accommodator is ready to agree with it. For there to be peace, let him just, whereas he's dying inside. He's dying inside. Some couples experience that. Compromising, which is willingness to sacrifice part of your goals and persuade the other party to do the same. You see, this is a little higher. You want to give, but you also want the other party to give. You want to take as well, not like the accommodator. It is making concessions and demanding same in order to get a middle ground. Compromisers are moderately assertive and moderately cooperating and seek an expedient, mutually acceptable solutions to both parties. The image here is fox. You know fox. Fox doesn't come after its prey full blown like lion. Fox, even when it comes to where people are dwelling, I want to steal cheat or steal something. If you moving with style, as if he's using his style to move, and then he moves towards the prey. If he sees that it's an advantage position for him, he grabs the prey and quickly he's running. But if he sees that it's not advantage for him, he will pretend as if he's not really interested in the prey, and it just be running away on his own. Is an agile and very intelligent animal. He knows when to pick, he knows when not to pick. Those are compromisers. They are assertive on everything. Assertive. Please, where did you lose me? Hello, sirs. Where did my audio stop?
You are talking about.
We are talking about accommodation when it stopped.
Jesus Christ. Thank you. I've completed compromising. I didn't know that.
Gbọ́ money.
But accommodating the duro.
Accommodating to stop.
I lost on the road.
Okay, where in accommodating? Did I finish accommodating?
You are talking about a couple that if one is accommodating and one is competing.
And one is competing. Yes, wow. That was where we stopped.
Okay. I think that's about the end of it. I've already, you heard when I spoke about teddy bear always opening his arms to everything.
Opening his arms to accommodate. The teddy bear always opening his arms to accommodate.
When I said yes, ladies can use it, they step in on it, they use it as pillow, they treat it anyhow. It's ready. It's always opening his arms. Did you hear that part?
No, that was when the network went away.
Okay. That was when it stopped. Yes.
Okay. So you see, accommodators in assertiveness, they are low. In cooperativeness too, they are low. I mean, they are high. They are willing to cooperate with other parties because they place high premium on the relationship. And I said that sometimes employees, they live like this because they want to keep their jobs at all costs. They want to keep their jobs at all costs. So, but I said that if we must choose accommodating, you should know what one is gaining from that relationship. And that people who are accommodators by default should know that it is not in every situation that accommodating is the best approach. Because we'll be sacrificing our needs for other people, to please other people, to maintain peace, which is not sustainable. And if we as conflict managers see that accommodating is the conflict handling style of a partner, we should know and help them to see that you cannot accommodate on every issue. Because if the issue or your goal, if you value that thing very well, you cannot accommodate. Because look at accommodating now. Value of own issue, value you place on your issue or your goal is low. But if while analyzing the conflict, you see that this person prioritizes this particular goal, you need to advise them you cannot accommodate on this. In the minimum, you have to compromise. Let the person give you something and you give something on this issue. Because if you place high value on this issue and this person and you use accommodating style, you will not be at peace with yourself. We have to come and revisit this thing again. But for instance, if somebody is an accommodator by default, and we find out that the value he places on the relationship with that person at this point in time is low, then we say accommodating is not the best approach. So the variables here, they help us to judge which approach, which style is best to respond to different types of conflicts. And let me repeat what I've said about compromising. I said it's a willingness to sacrifice part of your goals and persuade the other party to do the same. So compromising is give and take. make compromise. Somebody that is a compromiser, you want to make concession on some things and demand the same from the other party. They are moderately assertive, moderately cooperating, and they seek an expedient, mutually acceptable solution to both parties. And the image is represented by fox. And now, fox, if you know fox very well, fox is a very intelligent animal. Fox, in getting its prey or its food, because it eats leftover food by man too, fox is always conscious of its environment. It's using sight and style to move towards the prey or the food source. If he sees that it's a good opportunity for it, it's like an opportunistic animal. He sees that this thing is the opportunity for him, he quickly grab that thing, and immediately you see him running away. It's not like bear that will grab his food and want to eat it on that spot and then be strolling. Fox is aware of his strength, is aware of his weakness, as it were. To him, life is 50-50. So compromisers are assertive, moderately, cooperative, moderately. The value they place over the issue is moderate. Now, let me put it this way. Compromising is best used when the value you place over the issue is moderate and the value of the relationship to you is moderate. If the value of the relationship to you is low, compromising might not be the best approach. And if the value you place over the issue is very high, it might not be the best approach. The outcome for compromiser is I win some, you win some. Nobody wins them all. Competing or forcing is represented by shark. The last World Cup was won by Australia, Mexico, no, Argentina. Argentina. Football is a good example of a competing game. It's a good example of a competing game, football. Now, we can't see a situation whereby two football teams fighting for World Cup. You now say, let us agree that the two of us will become co-winner so that we will share the World Cup into two. No, only one can win, and that is the position of competitors. You want to achieve your goal without concern for or at the expense of the other party. Competitors gain power and use power to pressure the other party into capitulating to one's demand. So when you think of competitors, think of football teams, competitive football teams. And competition or forcing comes with being aggressive, autocratic, confrontational, and intimidating. Competitors are high on assertiveness, low on cooperativeness. The value they place over their issue, high. The value they place over a relationship is low. Outcome, I win, you lose. You see, sometimes we as individuals, we find ourselves in conflict with competitors. Once you identify that this person is a competitor, you know that you cannot use any other style with competitor or except competition. You will only change that style if you are able to persuade or something is able to persuade a competitor to become a collaborator. Because when you are trying to give, the competitor is trying to take everything. So if you are a competitor as a conflict manager, you want to see that you don't want to compete over everything. If the value you place over that goal is nothing much, you want to suspend them. Some people are so bent on winning every time that even they compete with their children. They just like winning, whether that thing is big or small. They want to win at all times. And as conflict managers, if we have a case we are handling and a party is a competitor and the other one is not. We know how to, in analyzing conflict, how to ensure that the competitor does not eat everything and everybody in that thing. Okay, collaboration, it is cooperating. It is seeing conflict as problems to be jointly solved by all involved through finding creative solutions to all issues. Let me talk first from the perspective of the conflict manager here. If the case before us, if relationship is very important, if the goal, the value the parties place on their issue, on their goals is very important, we may want to inspire collaboration between the parties. We want to inspire collaboration as the preferred style. And that is why mostly in family disputes, church, disputes involving people that are in close relationship, we don't want to hurriedly manage it. We want the parties to be involved. We want them to join us in creative problem solving. We don't want to just assume we know it all and then hand over our solutions to them. I'm talking of relationships that are close, that the parties must by default put high premium on. Husband, wife, spiritual father, spiritual parent, and spiritual children, church member, maybe some business partners, some very close friends. When relationship is involved, first of all, think about collaboration. When relationship is very important. When the value they place, the parties place over the relationship, the values they place over their goals is important, collaboration may be the preferred style for us to inspire. In collaborating, parties don't give up their self-interest. Rather, they dig into the issue to identify the underlying concerns and test our assumptions and understand the views of others. Collaboration is saying, let us look away from attacking ourselves, from abusing ourselves. Let us concentrate on the issue, on the problem, and let us jointly attack the problem. Instead of deploying, for instance, in the case of husband and wife, instead of deploying our efforts, our resources to attacking ourselves, let us deploy these resources into attacking the problem that is causing the problem between us. Is it the problem of finances? Then let us do joint, let's brainstorm instead of calling ourselves names and abusing our parents, abusing this one. Let us use that, and that is collaboration. It is represented with an howl, owiwi in Yoruba. It has 360-degree view. It can rotate its head 360 degrees. So collaborating is not only looking from your own perspective, you want to understand things from the perspective of the party so that together you can have a full picture of the situation and then you jointly develop creative solutions to it. Ubuntu is a shortened form of this rendition, Ubuntu Ugumuntu Gambatu, which translates into a person is a person through other people. And we have shortened it to mean I am because we are. It is a mindset that consider yourself as part of a community of people and that the community is more important than you. Keeping the peace of the community is more important than your selfish reasons. Because without the community, I am nothing. So the interest of community should supersede my interest. That is in short the view of Ubuntu. And this kind of thing underlies most traditional African societies. And that is why things like personal, selfishness is not as common as it is today. We think of the collective more than the individual. It is contrary to the Western way of thinking, to their culture, but this is our own culture. I remember the story of two white guys, I think Americans or Europeans, who went to a Southern African nation for, this humanitarian aid. So they've been working in a village, they've grown familiar with the people in the village. So when they just came back, in order to, just coming back from somewhere, we bought some things for the kids. We brought chocolate. Now, the chocolate wouldn't go around. We now said, okay, in order to be fair, they will, the kids, they will let them run sprints from one point to the other, and whoever wins the race will collect all the chocolates. So they did the normal thing. Until Margaret said go. When they said go, they expected the kids to be running, to be kicking up dust. Rather, what they saw was that the kids, all of them joined their hands and they were walking towards the final destination. These people were shocked. These white guys were shocked. So when the kids now got there, the other guy now gave them, he said, why you are the tallest? You should have outrun everybody. So there's no point in me collecting all these things and then making other people to feel bad. He said, but you can give it to them. He said, why should she collect first? He collect first and then it will be like his own. Why doesn't the thing become everybody's own so that everybody will have equal rights? The kids taught the white guys a lot of lessons that day. Lots of lessons. The kid didn't have to go back home and ask their parents, what should we do? They have already been groomed into that collective thinking. And this is what is supposed, this is what also we put forward in the body of Christ, in religious bodies, especially the body of Christ. The collective, the unity of the brethren, the unity of the flock is more important than personal thing. So as a conflict handling style, Ubuntu recognizes the existence and connection of a supreme being, God, as the creator of man, spirit, animal, and plant lives, and phenomena and inanimate objects. Sometimes in church, we use this a form of Ubuntu, or let me say spiritual. When we say because, just let it be because of God. We bring God into it, and some people, they will hands up like that without any animosity. So Ubuntu thinks of everybody winning. Is assertive, is collective, Buddhism is high, cooperativeness high, value over the issue high, value of relationship to the person very high. Now quickly, conflict management strategies. The very first step in strategically managing your conflict is to know your default or preferred style, your natural style. That is the very first step. At the end of today, you must be able to know, okay, I fit in more into this or that. Based on your understanding of the styles above, determine which one you most frequently use. How does it work for you and what are the consequences? The previous conflict handling styles discussed above translates into 5 conflict management strategies based on 5 principles. There are issues. These are the 5 parameters we use to use the 5 conflict strategies. Issues, relationship, relative power, available time, and desired outcome. Issues. To what extent does the conflict involve important priorities, principles, or values? Identify them. Relationship. How important is the relationship to the parties? How is it important for them? Do they want to continue the relationship? Relative power. The power balance between the parties. Who has more or less power? What type of power? Is it economic power? Is it expert power? How can one gain more? How can the underdog gain more power? How can the other party lose power? Available time. How much time do you have to resolve the issue? How much time do the parties have to tackle the desired outcome? Based on the other four factors, what kind of outcome do we desire, or is it or is possible? Okay, so the strategies are similar to the style. Now, considering those 5 issues, avoidance as a conflict management strategy is best when the conflict is small and relationships are at stake. When you are upset and need time to cool off, you may temporarily avoid. When there are more important issues to deal with. So you see, the relative importance of the issues is what you're talking about. Sometimes some issues are important, sometimes relative to other pressing issues, some just have to be avoided. When you have no power and you see no chance of getting your concerns met, and when you are too emotionally involved and others around you can solve the conflict more successfully. So this is the time to use avoidance. Accommodate when an issue is not as important to you as it is to the other person. So accommodation will be fine at this point. The other person really wants the thing, but you don't really want it. Let him have it. When you realize that you are wrong, maybe you are presented with facts and you find that you are wrong, just let it go. When the time is not right to resolve the issue, I would prefer to simply build credit for the future. It is, you want to be able to say, you know, I've not been asking for this my due all this while. I've not been doing this all this while. If you are looking for that, you just be piling the thing up to accommodate, because at some point in the future, what you have tried, it now become to have you the credibility to say, see the things I overlooked for you. When harmony in the relationship is extremely, extremely important. Okay, let's just keep it for now. Okay, compromise. When people of relatively equal power are equally committed to goals. When you can save time by reaching intermediate resolution of parts of the complex issues, and when the goals are moderately important, to compromise. You compete. You compete when you know you are right. When time is short and a quick decision is needed. When you need to stand up for your right. There are certain times you just need to stand up for your right. You need to stand up for your right. There are certain times that parties that come to us, you need to let them know this is not imposing on them. It's after careful analysis and prioritizing for them, and they have shown some things that are important to them. And we know that these are issues of rights. No, this you cannot negotiate. These ones can't be negotiated. Here is about standing up for your rights. Collaborate when the parties, this is the best time to collaborate. Trust is very important. When you know that the other party cannot take advantage of you, cannot take undue advantage of you. When it is important for all sides to buy into the outcome, when you want to jointly own the outcome. When the people involved are willing to change their thinking as more information is found and new options are generated. And when the parties need to work through animosity and hard feelings, especially in close relationship, and they have to work through animosity and hard feelings, we need to do together. We need to facilitate that process for them. In conclusion, it is evident that different strategies will be most appropriate for different situations. Although we all have our default styles, the good news is that we all can learn to judge and apply the most appropriate strategy to each situation. This is a learnable skill, that is conflict handling style and conflict management strategy are learnable skills, and I strongly encourage us to keep learning it. Thank you very much. And with that, we have come to the end of our makeup class today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maz, and I don't know whether.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Do we have questions? If you don't, I would like each of us to turn on our cameras. We want to take the final screenshot. And I would appreciate it if those of us that participated in this class, if we can show by raise of hands on the platform. I think out of 30, we only have about 15, 16.
Sorry, sir. I'm with you from the beginning to the end. So I tried to search for where we raise up my hands. I did not get it.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. There's an icon under. Okay, you have Sister Luwakemi has shown us how to raise them, and this is a Janet. You see, so your right hand. Aha. Ladies are showing us. So your right hand.
You will see reaction. When you see reaction, then when you look down, you see you see all sorts of things like mute, video, participants, chat. You see reaction. You press reactions. When you see when you press the reactions, you see the signs that
reaction did not show on my phone. I have notes.
Okay, can you see those dots down on your phone? Can you see some dots down on your phone?
Like 3 dots.
Where they wrote more.
Eh?
Okay, I've seen. Thank you.
Oh, now tap it. Okay.
I've tapped it. I've raised my hands.
All right, that's good.
Okay, Pastor Oluwakemi Fakojuwo, you have a question?
Yes. Did you say we should raise our hand?
No. Only people who have questions.
You are saying, I thought you said that all that participated should raise their hands. That was why
that's what I heard. It's on the WhatsApp page.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's put our full names there, and then raise our hand. Yes. Because I know some of us are coming out. Going in and out. I might have taken the screenshots when you are out. So want to confirm that with our screenshots to know people who are.
It's network that is cutting us off from time to time, but thank God we're able to.
It's network that's sending us out and in, not that we wanted to exit.
Yes, I know. In fact, most of the people who are here, more or less, they've been stable. More or less. Okay. I want to thank us for sparing this time. Is indeed very encouraging to see that we decided to come for this. It shows that we really value the work. The course, and we gain one thing or the other. Do we have any final comments? How has the program been to you? What have you seen? What do you think you need to change, and so on?
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I have 2 comments, sir.
Okay, sir.
Number 1, this course, can you please help us so that we'll do it like semester course? for people like us that wanted to know more. You know, before we started this course, I asked that which university can we get this course done? I've verified from UI and they said it's under School of Arts, but it's not as a full course. I went to OAU to verify. They said it's not as full course. Now that we met with you now, I don't know if you can create the opportunity, even if it requires us registering for it, so that we'll do it like semester course, so that we'll learn more. That's my first.
Okay, sir. What's the second one?
That's
sir?
my first comment. The second comment has to do with questions, sir.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. The question is, when a shadow party is involved in conflict analysis resolution, when shadow party is involved and it involves the life of either the primary factor or any other factor, what can the conflict analyst do in such a situation? Or should I explain for that?
Let me try to capture what you have said. It's
Okay,
like,
sir.
how does a conflict manager handle shadow parties?
Yes, when it involves life, the claiming of life.
Oh, please, can you expatiate on that?
Okay, sir. You know, when there's a conflict between husband and a wife, and the main cause of the conflict is as a result of shadow party, external chick outside. An external chick is threatening that if anything should separate her from the concubine, that life will go for it.
First, as a conflict manager, you see, that is now threat to life. You need to involve law enforcement agents.
Okay.
Yes, we have to involve law enforcement agents. Since it's about life, I would have said, let us first of all determine the capacity of that shadow party. You know, it's part of what we discussed on Tuesday, that sometimes they just make empty threats. But when it has to do with life, you don't want to call anything empty. You don't want to call anything empty. Sometimes there are situations where conflict management crosses line with the law. You must go with the law. You must go with the law. Except in rare cases when both parties jointly agree that let's settle it out of using the. But when it is like this case you mentioned, please, sir, it is very necessary to involve law enforcement. Sometimes once that is reported to law enforcement, whoever is making such threats is contained. Okay, on the fourth issue, currently what we have in Hemsman Academy is series of short or certificate courses. Series of certificate courses. This one is free. Other ones are not free, but they are highly subsidized, especially for church leaders, as I said 2 or 3 days ago on Tuesday. Now, these are short courses because we consider the time that participants have. We consider also the need to be as practical as possible, not necessarily theoretical. We see that this course we are in now is geared towards not only knowledge, but also skills, what you'll be able to do. That's why you have those pre-course and post-course and in-course activities and assignments for us to develop some practical skills that we can use immediately. You understand, sir?
I'm listening.
Maybe later, maybe able to have long semester course, but generally because of the nature of peace and conflict, we quickly want to equip people with what they need to instantly change their environment. But there are master's programs, master courses in peace studies in public and private universities. But having taught in the university for more than 15 years now, I can tell you most graduate courses, they don't give you skills. They only burden you with theoretical, other courses, and so on and so forth. So if your aim is to acquire skills to be able to do, knowledge and skills to do immediately, but if you want to do MSc and then go to PhD, I mean, there are so many universities doing it.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Then this short course, how do we have the information?
Information about what?
Short courses. You said you are running short courses that is not free.
Oh yes, we gave that yesterday, Dr. Ajepe, the second to the last presentation on careers and specializations in peace and conflict studies. That's what we covered. I mean, not yesterday, on Tuesday. And now, if you decide to get the hard copy of the materials, that PowerPoint is there. You will see,
okay.
We gave brief explanation and focus of each course, but very soon, by next week, you'll be able to see them on our website too.
Better, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Pastor Richard, sir.
Let's thank.
Unmute yourself, Pastor Richard, please.
Okay. Yeah. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to first of all thank you for finding time for those of us who missed the first one. I'm very happy.
You,
otherwise, I fought with Pastor Dele Olashukwu for not telling me of this. Although he put it on the platform, some of us are not too good to go on the platform. But I think I want to take extra time.
Thank you, sir.
Number one, I was one of those who requested for the material so that we can read through. What you are teaching is profound. As you teach them, they are very interesting, but you know, some slow learners who want to read and read and read again. So I want to see plead for that. I remember you said the audio will be available on your website.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think we'll be happy to have the link. That's one. Then two, I want to find out this course you are running. There is alternative dispute resolution courses going on for lawyers and non-lawyers. How does this your course measure up to that? What I'm asking is this: that's a course that is looking very well known, recognized, you have a certificate, and then after that you can go practicing alternative dispute resolution work. How does this your course, measure up to that?
In fact,
let me stop there.
Yes, sir. This course and our other courses, they are in alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
Yes. Like this one is like the basic
Okay.
in conflict management. You see,
okay.
And how does it measure up to what we have there? I teach with some of these institutes. In fact, with the best of them, with the biggest of them. I'm a fellow there, and I've taught with them for instance, now there's an institute, ICMC. I've been a member for 20 years. And the institute itself is just 22 years. I'm a fellow. I train with them, all this. This our course. In fact, what initially inspired me to begin to float on my own on my firm's name is because I saw the inadequacy of the courses that this institute plays.
Okay.
Like for ICMC now, we do 5 days. 5 days. I know that 5 days is not enough. Now, look at what you have done in 2 days. You cannot get this much focus in any of the institutes that I've trained with, many of them in Nigeria, when it comes to. I deliberately, you know, as an academic, many times we are always big on content.
Yeah.
So that's why you see this one packed, because we saw areas where you need theoretical and practical foundations. So once you do this our course, you may not be able to go to government ADR centers like multi-door courthouse to go and be a mediator. You may not be able to do that. Why? Because I've not done training in mediation. Because I've not done training in mediation. Now, after this, one of the courses we offer is negotiation and mediation. Once you do that training, negotiation and mediation, you can work with any multi-door courthouse to gather experience. But what we felt in designing this course is that there are church leaders that they have been doing this mediation thing, but they are not applying it.
They are not applying they don't even have the principles.
Yes. We say let's give them the principles.
The skills they require, yeah.
Exactly. Such that if they now want to do it more as a professional, there are courses they can take with us. You understand? So what we encourage is that at least in the minimum, that our other course, negotiation and mediation, is important. With it, you can practice with governments, with other institutes. And that is the more reason, sir, that at the reverse side of our certificate, we write the transcript, I mean the full description of what this course entails.
So they know the competencies you have.
Exactly. And also we put you on our website, and the course, the full description of the course is also on our website. So if Mr. Richard says, Pastor Richard says, I have taken this course with Hemsman, this is their website. They can go and check and look at what Hemsman taught them. And because within the circle of ADR in Nigeria, to the glory of God, I am well grounded. Majority, they know me because of belonging to this organization, institute, this one, and interacting with so many of them as a professor and also as a practitioner. Do I? Okay, sir.
Yes, I'm very okay. You know why I asked is that Nigeria has a number of bureaucratic processes. You want to practice ADR, they ask you, where is your certificate? That's what I was asking. Because there is much to offer in this field.
Yes.
A lot of the issues that go to court can be resolved without congesting our court. But I also know that even for a court to say yes, go for alternative dispute resolution with Pastor Richard, they need to know what really you have. Yes. I think I got. We can't get it.
Thank you very much.
I heard you talk about post-course activities. I don't know what it is. You know, what we are talking about is very practical. So I'm just wondering if once a year, post-course activity of bringing everybody together to share experiences and discuss issues, whether that is possible. Secondly, much as everybody goes online now, thank God for the ability you had and your teaching skill. I imagine a class of everybody that took part being together and interacting. It makes me feel it will be richer and more impactful. So I don't know whether that is possible, because when you say there are courses which we can find on your website, Like, you know, I'm a pastor. I might avail myself of some of them. God will give me the money. I very much appreciate in-person courses because it brings about sharing of experiences, practical. You know, you and I, you talk and I answer you, you answer me. So that's just my suggestion. But otherwise, it's been a wonderful course.
Thank you very much, sir. That's beautiful. We have plans, not even plans, we've always been having physical course, trainings. But we just felt that for this introductory one, we can also do the introductory one physical, provided we have sizable number. For instance, now, let's say maybe you are in Ibadan or Lagos, and some of our participants there, they decide, okay, we want to train five members, five elders in our church. And we have like 20, 30, because okay, let us come there, use one church, and then we train. That's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Okay.
And we also intend to keep this community. Our post-course activity is the assignment we gave each group. It's based on group basis. We have 10 groups of 9 members each. I think some 10. And what we gave them to do is to practically analyze a conflict of their choice so that they will gain skills in conflict analysis. Yes. Yes. So, I don't know, which group are you, sir?
I came in late when the first one started, and today now, for network reason, I came in late again. I didn't even know you have put people in groups.
Wow, wow. Okay. Are you on our WhatsApp group, sir? WhatsApp page?
No, I am not. Like I told you, on time, so.
Okay, I'm going to copy your number now and add you. Okay. I see that you have posted your number 0803. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay, let me take the question of Pastor Adedeji Akin Chemoyi. Thank you, Pastor Richard.
I should mute myself now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
No, I don't take my picture. Can I switch off video too?
Is that, sir? Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, it's okay. Yeah, you can off
I can switch off video.
Yes, since you are done. Thank you very much, sir.
I mean, photo than Vincent.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the delivery. It was very much on point, and I really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a comment. I don't know when next another session will be held. So I just want to comment that for those of us who are not full-timers in the ministry, a lot of people that would have been interested in this course, but because of work, like on Monday, I think that was why I missed the Facebook on Monday, because I was shuffling between Monday meeting and the course. So for those that will not be chanced during the week, I don't know if it's possible to fix it on a weekend, probably Friday, Saturday, if possible Sunday, because I know many people that would have been interested, but because of time and chance.
Yes, in fact, we are putting structures in place to make that possible, so that we're even looking at evening sessions, maybe 3 hours evening for 5 days, or weekend, like you have said. Very soon, we'll put all the information on our website. I know you've been participating very actively. I've been seeing your name. So you are in a group, and in our WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. So we'll post information there on subsequent trainings. Especially we look at this weekend training. We look at the weekend training.
All right, sir.
And, all right. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Okay, Pastor Banjola Bisima. Good afternoon, ma. Pastor Labisi, we are not getting your audio at all. I know you are unmuted, but we still can't hear you. It is breaking bad. Hello, ma. Hello, ma. The network is bad. Hello, ma. Hello. Wow. Hello, ma. Is it about the location? Or can you type it in the chat? The audio is not good at all. Can you type it in the chat? Hello, ma. Can you hear me? Wow. This is not nice. I said, can you type it? Can you type your question or your remarks in the chat? Pastor Banjo Labisi. Wow. I think so. Okay, does anybody have any other comments while we wait for Pastor Labisi's chat or message? Nobody seems to have. Pastor Labisi, we can't hear you at all. If you can hear us.
Maybe she should just type it. Just type it on the chat box.
Can you type it?
So that we can read it. Or if not, maybe if she can't type where she is, maybe she can send it to the group chat. So that we can go.
Maybe you should send it to the group chat.
Yes.
On WhatsApp. So I want to thank everybody for sparing the time to participate in this makeup. It's our hope that you will be able to put these skills to use in your spheres of influence. I pray that God help us in our positions of leadership in the mighty name of Jesus. So let's keep up with our group activity and then submit to time. Thank you very much, and God bless you all, Miles and sir.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Very much, sir. God bless you, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen. God bless you, sir.
And you too, ma.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Amen, sir. Thank you too.
Thank you, sir. We enjoyed you. God will bless you and take you to higher ground.
Amen, sir. Same to you, sir.
Amen.